I gotta check this real quick. Make sure it's working. All right, it's working. Set this one up here, boy. Sure, the right one. I really hope that I'm in. I think I'm in S-Cinetone. All right. So right now I'm just talking about all the stuff that I've got. Just wanted to go live and talk about that shit. So I got a bunch of Edelkrone stuff in the mail, like a huge box. But for the most part, I've gotten some better tripods. Kind of upgraded my tripod game. I've only been using like some cheaper ones, like smaller, like Benro. Benro's good, but I needed some bigger ones. So I got this brand. I'm not even gonna attempt to say the name. I think a lot of people are pretty familiar with it. Got this little jib over here, pretty cheap. And I've also moved to like the M1 Max. I got rid of the i9 I had just because I don't know. I feel like they're gonna get replaced pretty soon, and I didn't want to be behind and trying to sell it. So I went ahead and just got two M1 Max. I got the Mac Mini M1 and the MacBook Air M1. And so far, I mean, it's been really good. The Air has great battery life. I don't even think I've let it die below like 80%. I've also gotten some broken on glass with the Cine gears on them so that I could use them on the follow focus for the Edelkrone. And then I also upgraded to the Mavic Air 2. Like I don't need the Pro or nothing like that. I barely use my drone at all. But I got the Air 2 Fly More kit. Got it really cheap, so always a plus when I'm finding these deals. So I sold my Air and then upgraded to the Air 2, which is pretty dope. Start this music back up. Yeah. But yeah, for the most part, that's what I've been doing. Trying to get this Edelkrone stuff set up. So turn this one a little bit. So I had the Slider 1 V2, and then I ended up getting the Head Plus Pro, which is the heavier one, which doesn't really work that well with the jib, but I figured whatever. I got it really, really cheap, as well as the follow focus came with it. And yeah, the battery mount. This is a V mount battery pack. So the people at Edelkrone are really good. Their customer service is really, really good. I had a gold mount battery pack when I bought this from somebody, and it was sealed, and they were able to just let me send this to them, and they swapped it out, so no problem there. But I have the Sony MPF bracket on there right now, which is fine. I mean, I think it's lighter than the having the V mount on there, so I think that's good. This is the A7C with the Rokinon 16 millimeter 2.8. I think it's a full frame lens, but yeah, I had this one. But when I got this, I ended up getting the let me find it. Go. Ended up getting the Slider. I think it's called the Slider Plus Pro Long V5. It's got a really, really long name. but it's got a lock right here. And the good thing about this one is it allows you to, when mounted on a tripod, get double the length. So if it's on a table, you're only going to get this range of motion. But I mean, it's really smooth and it works really well. And it's making a weird noise because it's on the table. Yeah, so got this part of the deal too. And I ended up having to buy the slider motor for this because it didn't have one. So that's one of the things that's in the box. The only thing that they didn't send me is my my jib. So I found it really odd that they didn't have the jib in stock. And the only ones with the jib in stock were like B&H and Adorama. So I don't know why they don't have their own product in stock, which is really weird. So this is the V-mount battery here. They seal all their stuff up. So I did get a box that wasn't sealed, so I assume that somebody used it already. But these mounts are, and this one's metal too, at least on the back part. So you just mount, you screw this in with the provided screws. You put your V-mount on there and you plug it in to the DC port. It also has a D-tap, so that's good. But yeah, for the most part, that's what you expect from the V-mount battery pack. But I've got a load of stuff in here. Look. This is a head one. So this is like their first kind of head. It's cool because you can put two of these and have a tilt pan. You can also put a turntable on it and have it spin around. So when you're doing product shots, it's really smooth. So I ended up with three of those because I want a pan tilt here, and then I want one dedicated specifically for the turntable. And then when I'm not using a turntable, technically I can have a jib set up, a slider V5 long, and a slider 1, all with at least pan on that and then tilt on the others. So I have the ability to be able to run 3 setups at the same time. Not that I ever would, but it's an option. Then we got the Pan Pro. This is actually one of their newer products. It works in the same manner as these, but you can tell that it's like a little bigger. So it's more powerful. It can hold more weight. But I find it odd you couldn't put these in a pan tilt setup. I would think that you would probably be able to do that, but I guess you can't, from my understanding. And yeah, I mean, this is mainly bought for the jib. So what you do is you put this on the tripod, place the jib on top, and then your jib gains an extra axis so that it can spin around versus just going a static up and down or side to side. I was also thinking maybe eventually they're going to have a Jib Pro, or they're going to have a jib be able to be placed on some sort of slider. That would give you the most kind of motion anywhere you want and make a fully automated setup. So that's something that I hope they eventually do, and I'd be looking forward to that. This is the only one that's not wrapped. So I'm assuming someone opened this and sent it back, but it's just a power adapter, so no big deal. This is the power adapter for the Pan Pro. So in case you don't want to use batteries, I don't think I would ever not use batteries unless it was like a really long gig, but it's good to have, I guess. We got the smaller pieces. Oh, so this is the this is their new controller. So I kind of missed the boat on this one. Probably about a month ago, they were giving this thing out for free, and I just didn't have the funds to order at the time, so I did have to pay for this. But the cool thing is, after you bundle so much stuff, they give you like 20% off I'm trying to check the chat. They'd be like 20% off. And then I was able to get them to honor like an expired 10% code. So I ended up getting like 30% off of all this stuff. But the controller is cool to have. I don't like that it has only 3 keyframes. But I mean, whatever. I guess if you're able to do it without having your phone open sometimes, that's pretty awesome. But I wish they would have like some sort of pro controller. And then for the follow focus, I think at the moment you're only able to let it automatically detect the focus points. I would like to see the ability to have a pro controller with a wheel similar to like the Ronin, where you can actually control this manually and then also set your points manually, because if you have a fly-by-wire lens, it's not going to work. So that's kind of sucks for that point. These are all the shutter release cables. So shutter release cables. This one's actually an MPF bracket. So you need this bracket for the slider, and I think that's it. I think I have 2 of these actually. Yeah. So you need a battery bracket. It's kind of weird because for everything you buy, you have to buy a battery bracket. It doesn't come with a battery bracket. I would think for the price they would build in a battery bracket. You just choose your bracket and then they send it to you. But no, they charge you for the battery bracket. So like these are cheaper than like the V mount battery. You pay more for this. Didn't even need this honestly, but I figured, hey, if I ever get a V mount battery, which I don't have, I could use it. So, and then my phone is like slowly dying. The A7S III will probably outrun the phone, so the phone is probably gonna die. It is what it is. So I'm on YouTube and then IG over here. The shutter release cable is going to look just like, not this one. That's not a release cable. Wherever I put it. Don't know. Oh, here we go. It's a little like this. This one is to a like USB B, I think you call that. It's not a USB C. And it's like really long, but it doesn't work on the S or the A7C. So I had to get these. I'm assuming these are USB-C options. We're gonna figure that out real quick. Probably should have a knife or something, huh? Fuck it. Right here. Use what we got. Alright. Like big boxes for like nothing in it. It should go like the Apple route and just like make very thin boxes to save weight and shit. I get it, I guess. It's the same damn cable. Do they not have USB-C cable? I mean, Jesus, dude. I ordered. So now I have 3 of these cables that suck. I'm going to ask them. Because, like, the A7C doesn't have this USB cable in it. But, like, the S3, you do have both. So I need to ask them if they sell a Sony cable that's is a USB-C, because I don't need these. So I will not open this one so that I could swap it out. Whichever one it is. I get confused as all the boxes look exactly the same. So we'll take this S2 shutter cable, we'll put it over here. I'm not gonna open that one. Maybe they'll swap both of these out. One could hope. So I really can't use these. They're only used for like time lapse anyways, so maybe I just keep the one I have, use it on time lapse, and then only on the camera that it works with, because it's not gonna work with my A7C, which is what I have up here. Again, these are MPF battery mounts, battery brackets, just like the one that's on the side of here. So don't need to pull these out. This is pretty heavy. This is the slide module V3. This goes to that big slider. You mount it on, I think there's a preferred end, but one of the ends, and then you put the belt with the gears on it, and it can drive the slider. So there's that. This here is the Tilt Kit V2. So the Tilt Kit V2 is going to be your brackets to put two of the head ones on a tilt pan. And those are the two brackets here. It's supposed to be very simple. The app will auto detect which one's in the tilt, which one's in the pan. It says made in Turkey. And then last but not least, I have the turntable kit. I wish they were a little bigger, but basically you get a black turntable and a white turntable. You can place them on top of one of the heads. And what it will do is it will spin. It's quite reflective, I believe, and you can use that for product shots. But yeah, I wish it was a little bigger. These aren't quite that big, I guess. We'll see. And I also ended up getting another 35 millimeter macro because I sold the other one and I wanted to just test this out, because what I realized is using autofocus on this thing is not going to be that great if you're not tracking the face. You're going to want manual focus lenses, but I assumed if you're shooting something so close up, you're going to be manually focusing. I'm not even sure if you're going to adjust focus that much. If you're that close, there's no depth, and pretty much everything's in focus anyways. Whereas if I'm using one of these lenses that's wider, definitely some stuff can be out of focus. So I'm going to try this, see if it works for what I'm doing. If not, then I'm just going to send it back. That's the good thing about ordering from Amazon, is you can just send shit back. No questions asked, and they will take it. So, the little lens hood. This Tamron is really sharp, really good. It's in my 2021 bag review or whatever. Well, not a bag review. It's 2021 gear, I guess. It's pretty nice. It's a nice lens. It's only a half size macro, which means it's not full size or life size, which I never really understood, because even a full size macro, that shit's bigger than it is in real life. So I don't understand the reproduction ratio thing. It is what it is. It's just half of what a 1:1 macro lens would do, which if I'm shooting in crop mode, technically gives me a 1:1. But the benefit of having a 1:1 is you go into crop mode, you get a lot more. So, and it might not even be a 1:1. It might be close. Yeah, build quality on this thing's pretty good. So we'll definitely be testing that out. I want to check the controller first. So, again, I didn't grab a knife for some reason or another. Wish I should have grabbed a knife. Edelkrone controller. Oh, this thing feels nice. Feels a lot nicer than I thought it would. Like in the pictures, it looks plasticky. This thing is full on metal. And it takes AAAs. But it's metal. Now this thing on the back, I'm assuming is just for the wireless signal. It's not like a screen or anything. They have this kind of on a lot of their stuff. And I think that's for the antennas, because obviously you need plastic or whatever for antennas for it to get through, versus metal. It can't really go through the metal. So that's what that's for. But yeah, it feels good. It's all metal. Trying to cover my face so that the A7S III will actually focus on it. There it goes. It's pretty dope. Like that's solid. Honestly, that's solid. Personally, I'd probably wrap this shit in gaff tape. It's gonna get scuffed the hell up. They could at least throw some batteries in here though for the price, man. Come on. They be cheaping out so bad, bro. Like you definitely pay a premium for Edelkrone stuff, but you ain't getting no batteries, homie. That's the crazy part. Then they got these little stickers everywhere. Like it looks like you're supposed to peel it off, but then when you start peeling it, it be leaving residue and shit. So I don't know. Just some BS to gripe about that doesn't mean anything. What is this? Tilt kit. Don't open that. Let's open a slide module. Where's that damn thing at? Here's what I'll do. I'll take one of these battery brackets. And there we go. Don't need a knife or nothing. What is this box? So, I have a box full of boxes. Alright. So most of this stuff comes with like user manuals and stuff. There ain't no fancy stickers in here and none of that shit. All this stuff's gonna require like updates when you connect it. So just be ready for that. Oops. These are the screws that are going to allow you to place it on the tripod. And then I'm assuming this is like an extension cable for the camera shutter release, because it is going to be at the end of the slider and you may need to use this if you're doing like a time lapse. So it's very similar to like the follow focus. It has the gear here. And again, you're literally just going to manual slide tension. Yeah, and you can also adjust the slide tension with this little knob. Again, this is not a screen. It looks like if you looked at this, you would think that that's like a screen. It's not a screen. This is not a screen. This is for the wireless signals. The screen is up here, which is kind of cool. It does tell you a few things. There is finally a power button on this damn thing. Sometimes they didn't have, like all their old stuff didn't. Like there's no power button here. There's no power button on this slider. You just put the battery in and it starts going. Like, let me show you. If you can even find where it's at. And my phone is dying, so the IG live is going to go down soon. You see that? You know it's on because it's beeping. But that's it. And I don't have any batteries in the controller, nor do I have any AAAs right next to me. Or actually, I might. I might be lying. Bruh, I got one AAA. Well, gotta buy some of them. And I ain't got nothing else over here that takes AAA, so. But for the most part, solid. Don't need the instructions. Also got the Edelkrone backpack when I bought this kit. So I do have a place to put all this stuff, and I may need a second backpack, honestly. Damn, I should put this back here. But yeah, we just take this thing right here. And actually, let me. Now the slider's off, no power button. Kind of stupid. You just line it up like this. You tighten it down. But you do have to put the gear belt on here. This is the standard manual slider belt. So I won't be putting this on right this second. And the belts come off pretty easy. It's just a magnet. I mean, I say easy and then it doesn't want to come off for me. Yeah. It's just magnetic, pretty dope. Everything's really like, I don't know, universal. So that's the slide module V3 from Edelkrone. Pretty nice. Overpriced, but really nice. I want to look at one of these head ones. So I got 3 of these head ones right here to go on my slider. So the again, I got the Head Plus Pro. The names are really weird. He said, "What's the cost? What's the cost of what? What's the cost of this? Damn thing's like $600. It's way overpriced." This is one of the head ones. I got 3 of these. These take, the only option for these are the Canon mount batteries. You can't get a different battery pack on these, so Canon mount battery only. The head screw does retract, so that's cool, I guess. But you can mount your camera on this. Now, if you need like a quarter 20 to go into your camera, you're just shit out of luck. You're gonna need a cage or something because this is a 3/8. But most of the time, putting it on a tripod, they do give you a 3/8 adapter though on the bottom, which is really weird. They don't give you batteries, but they give you that. So you basically just throw the battery in here, it'll turn on. Again, no power button. It probably will start spinning. You'll at least hear a beep. There it went. And if I connect it to my phone, I'll be able to control it. But yeah, for the most part, you just pop the battery off. And now it's off. So again, I have 3 of these because I'm going to put them on the pan tilt, and I'm going to have one for just the panning. Turn this music up a little bit. All right. Boxes aren't the easiest to open. Again, another one. Looks exactly the same as the other one. Now, the reason I got all this Edelkrone stuff is to kind of step up the, I guess, quality of my shoots when it comes to like product shots, close-ups, B-roll type stuff. Even if you're doing like special effects, I don't do a lot of that right now, but the ability to repeat moves over and over. I got 3 of these, which is dope. The Tilt V2 right here. Again, this IG camera is going to go down in a minute. Which is fine. I'll just charge my phone. Okay. So this is the Tilt V2 bracket. Probably the only piece I will actually probably need the instructions for. But essentially, you're able to mount 2 heads here, and you get the tilt and pan. So one head will go here, and then this is allow you to balance it. So let's do this. And again, I didn't look at the instructions, so I'm sure there's a certain way to mount this right. I don't really care for the retracting screw, honestly. Like this one doesn't want to pop up. There it goes. I would probably never retract them. I don't really care about it all that much. Let's look at the instructions here. So we want to, what's in the box? Tilt part 1. disassemble the parts. What do I need that for? Yeah, I have no clue what the other piece is for. Oh, that's if you want to do tilt only. Gotcha. But we want to do pan and tilt. I don't know. It's like kind of stupid. They give you this shit assembled. You're supposed to take it apart. Like, look. You need to disassemble the parts. So you pull this up and you take this part off. Then you have to screw this thing here. This part's going to screw onto one of the heads. The other head's going to mount on this one, but this way. And then you attach this piece somehow to your camera. So that's a thing that we'll have to figure out. So not doing that right now. But it does sound like something that shouldn't take very long to do. Once it's set up, it shouldn't be a problem. I guess it's just how they ship it for packaging purposes. I was like, I don't know why you would ship me something I need to take apart. It's not very intuitive. I think they do give you Allen wrenches on most of the stuff. So at least they give you that, although they don't give you batteries, which I find kind of weird. For the cost, you should be throwing in batteries. You definitely should. Okay, head ones. See these retractable screws, kind of weird. All right, maybe take some practice. No, it's just a pain in the ass altogether. Won't be doing that. All right. Again, this is just the power adapter to the Pan Pro. This is the Tilt Kit V2. Then we have the turntable kit. So this one's pretty cool. It's pretty unique, I guess. And one of the reasons why I have 3 of these heads. Come on. Oh man, I was like, I hope this is not scuffed up. Look at this. Luckily, that's just the plastic because this is probably Plex. It's plexiglass, and they cut it, and then Plex has one side with a cover on it. The only thing I would think that's bad about this is you're going to get scratches on it. And I'm certain you get a black one and a white one. And it literally just goes on here, like so. So now you got this cool little turntable that you can motorize with your moves. So when you move in with the slider, you can have this thing turning with the Edelkrone head. So that's pretty dope. What's up? Oh. You also get a cable. I assume this is like a extension cable for the sink. And then the I don't know if this is like an extra plate or what. I have to read the instructions. And then you get a white one, of course. It is kind of odd that the white one, I don't know, the white ones, this thing looks dirty. And it doesn't have a top to peel off. It actually looks cleaner on the bottom than it does on the top. I'm like, man, this thing better not be used. I doubt it is, but, you know. I see FX3. No, that's actually the A7C. It kind of looks like a FX3 though. But yeah, I think it smells funny too. It smells like plastic. Yeah, that's the A7C on the Edelkrone. Again, I'll put a battery in here. I really don't know why they gave me an extra one. Maybe this is if you wanted to make your own, you could glue this to something or tape it to something. I don't know. I really don't know why they gave me an extra one. Not too happy about the white one though. I hope it cleans up. Let's see here. Why would they give us the extra one? Oh, it's for the Pan Pro. Gotcha. I wouldn't be using my Pan Pro for that though. The Pan Pro 2. Oh, I know y'all didn't give me. I know y'all ain't got no Pan Pro 2. And you sold me a Pan Pro. That wouldn't be nice at all. What the hell is a Pan Pro 2? Alright, I find that weird. Okay, lock the Pan Pro, place the stabilizer. Oh, I get it. So you have to have this on the bottom of the disc. I mean, on the bottom of the Pan Pro to stabilize it because I guess it's more powerful. And if you want to put those tables on, what's up, bro? So yeah, that's what it's for. Probably won't be using that because I don't plan on using the Pan Pro as my turntable. I mean, I guess if you have something that's way too heavy, but for the most part, it's not going to be a thing. I don't know. I'm not going to entertain these questions, man. These weird questions, bro. Anyways, this is the Pan Pro. Man, I thought that shit said it was a Pan Pro 2. I was like, man, this is the newest one. How is there a Pan Pro 2? But it was Pan Pro Step 2. All right. This is the Pan Pro. This is a hefty one. So, like, this is the head one. These basically do the same thing. The only difference is this one's way more powerful. It's a lot bigger. It costs more. It's got a power button. They take the same battery. This one also has a lock. But that stabilizer disc is to put it here. And then you would use this side as a turntable, which is why they give you a 3/8 adapter or thread to throw in there. So yeah, I mean, kind of cool. This one is, like I said, mainly for the jib, and that's why I got it. So it's nice to have a more powerful motor, I guess. But even this thing has a weight limitation, so when you use this with the jib, it's going to be very slow. But I mean, most of the time, your jib movements are going to be slow anyways. I'm like, what happened to my music, yo? All right. Of course, you get an Allen wrench, but you don't get batteries. So, again, that's a thing that they do. Pan Pro, pretty dope. Won't even be using this because I don't have my jib yet. They haven't sent my jib. It's on back order apparently. I also ordered some NAND lights. So I have Quasars right now, but I did want some NAND lights for shoots, just mainly for the effects and all that stuff that I could use. Then I did want to use like my other lights and stuff. So yeah, I think I want to try to set up the slider real quick with the motorizing module. I need to turn all these things on because they have updates. This one I have to put a battery bracket on. This one I don't. This one I don't. And I'll need my tablet if I'm going to do updates because I don't have anything here to do an update with. So there's the slider. So to work with this, we need to put on this belt. You know what, I told Edelkrone that I only had one belt and I have two, and they're sending me a free one. Actually, I don't have two. I have two, but two is one. Two is one for this. So we'll lock it and move this shit over. Do this upside down. Pop this off. Pop this off. These belts are a pain in the ass on this side. Like, I got them off on the bottom, but the top side is a little more difficult. Like, what's the secret? What's the secret? There'll probably be some dumb shit I just don't understand. Shit is weird, dude. There's some dirt. You got to keep the sliders really clean so they don't get jacked up. No instructions here. Okay, so they all look the same on both sides. Okay, so it won't go there because of that. Whew. That is so weird. What if it's just a matter of pulling them up? Let's find out. Edelkrone. I forgot to replace this belt. Here we go. Nah, fam, my shit didn't come off that easy. He over here just literally just pulled it off on the video. Nah, fam. Oh, you gotta grab from the bottom. I get it. Some strong ass magnets though. Oh shit. I'm losing a wheel, Cuddy. Where'd this come from? See, now my shit's just falling apart. I don't like that. There it goes. All right, so now we get to put our geared belts on. All right. It's as simple as popping this thing in. Come around this side. Popping this thing in. Make sure it stays aligned. Getting there magnetic. So that's dope. I had to do a little work to get this last one on here. Since the tension is so tight. Make sure our shit's all lined up and all correctly aligned. Right. And there you have it. Definitely has a lot more tension than when it didn't have the belts. I don't know which side is the preferred side on this. On the slide module V3. And then I also hope that I don't lose all the damn nuts and bolts that go to this shit. Because I definitely will. So for the slide module 3, it's the box. We got the screws right here. Again, I don't know which side this is supposed to be mounted on. I assume it does matter somewhat, but at what extent, I don't know. That phone is about to give up, though, I know that much. So I need to extend these legs out. Give me a little more height here. Turn the slider off. Now I'm going to push this in, tighten it up. So that's how easy it is to put the slide module on. So I'm actually going to move this thing out of the way. It is heavy. I have it sandbagged. Here's what I'm going to do, though. I'm going to end the live on Instagram. My phone's dying anyway. I'm going to take this and I'm going to connect to this thing. And just let it run. Should hear a beep. We're going to hit manual pairing. They're both going to show up. I think the Head Plus Pro actually has an update. Pair and connect. I just didn't update it. It does make some weird noises though. The Plus Pro is kind of loud. That noise in particular was the focus wheel, so I can change the focus of the lens. Slide it over. Change the speed so I'll go all the way back. I can actually put this where I want it. Set my pose. I'm going to slide it all the way over. Now it's in the light. Maybe that's where I want it. And I'll just rotate it this way. Maybe rotate it down. Set pose 2. And we'll just have it going back and forth. And there it goes. It's probably a little too bright. Trying to put some light on that thing, man. It's a little dark over there. All right. We got the slider. I don't know if I trust these legs all that much, depending on how much weight I got on here. Now we need to add the battery bracket. So we're going to go MPF mount battery bracket, which I put back in the box, apparently. Because I didn't use my brain. So you can see that thing's just moving. The battery life on it is really nice. I'm not even using the focus motor right now because I didn't do any focusing. I just kind of randomly guessed where to put it. And I could even, rotate this thing a different way. Now, where this slider is going to give me an advantage is because this one only has about 8 inches of travel. This one has double whatever you see here. It's going to go like super, super long, which is also why I upgraded tripods, because I wanted to be able to support all that weight. The battery brackets are, they're like a cheap plastic, but relatively simple to install. Just gonna make sure you have it on the right way. Just goes like that. Boom, boom, and you're done. Let's get our screws out. Hopefully I don't lose these things. A few reviews that I saw said that the screws were like too short or something. You could always go and buy longer screws if you think that's the case. I didn't have a trouble with that. You definitely shouldn't over tighten them, because as someone who works on a lot of stuff, I have experience over tightening things, and I could tell you that it's not worth over tightening and breaking a screw or breaking a piece of plastic. That's kind of on you, not on them. Because, apparently it works. It'd be nice if these brackets were metal, but I'm assuming they're trying to save cost and weight by making them plastic. And this one is kind of weird looking. But that's it. And I want to say you don't have to use 2 batteries. You can actually just use 1. Sometimes it's hard to get the batteries in here, though. Here we go. 1 battery. Power on. Booting says idle. Unlock the tripod. I'm going to stop these 2. I'm going to do switch setup, manual pairing. And you can say unpair these 2. Please detach the battery from one of the devices in the group. Easiest is going to be the Head Plus Pro, because I can easily just do that. All right. So we rebooted that. Ran out of music. So it's cool because you get to see on your screen which things that you can pair. So whichever ones you select are the ones you're going to pair together. So I'm only going to select the slide module 3, because I don't want to use either one of these right now. That's at about 51%. It's already like 2.5 times this travel of this slider 1, but on a tripod, it's even more. Thought you could actually slide it. So you have to change the tension screw if you want to be able to manually move this and also motorize it. But you have a choice of potentially having it slip or just have it pretty tight so that you can use it as you want to. We're going to go to settings. It doesn't say there's a firmware update, but I'm almost certain there is. let's switch setup. Let's go to manual pairing, and I want to pair to the actual Head Plus because I know that it has. I'm so used to undoing it like this that I don't realize there's a power button on this one. I'm just gonna do the Head Plus Pro. So every time you turn this on, it checks for focus and it checks the range of your lens. It's rather aggressive. As you can see, it bends the camera up and down. Like I feel like it's gonna distort the damn mount. I don't like that. That's why I wish you could do it like manually. So I should be able to take this app, say set start point, move the focus, set it, set endpoint, and set this manually. That way it's not like trying to distort the shit out of my camera mount. I don't really like the way it does that. So that's one thing that I don't like about it. Then again, nothing's perfect. It is what it is. Kind of weird. Every time you want to change your setup, you have to unplug and replug something in. Turn this on. Update available. Now I see the update available and it disappears on me. Which I find rather weird. I'm going to actually turn these off. So you got to hold this button for a sec. Slider module's off. You got to take the battery out of this one. Now that's off. Can I like people's comments and shit? Here, I'll pin your comment. Pin message. It's the A7C, not the FX3. Head Plus is the only thing here. I'm gonna plug it really quick. Plug it back in. And if the update pops up, I'm gonna click it. No, I don't want to skip it. I skipped it. Damn it. It's so weird. When you connect to it, it doesn't let you. But then when you first pop it up, it says do the update. So I'm on 0.26. It's telling me I need to be on 0.9. Then why does it say I need to update? See? Shit's stupid. So apparently I don't need an update, but it keeps telling me I need an update, which doesn't make sense at all. So we'll pop on one of these Head Pros real quick. And actually, I don't have a key to do this right now. Where is my tool? Yeah. Why would they give us this thing in here? Need it. Your product literally has a 3/8 on top. Why are you giving us an adapter? I know the A7S3 has something. Hold on, I'll be right back. Actually, if I don't have to get up, man, I don't want to. So, damn it, that bent my cap all to hell. Didn't work. Hey, man, but it's good to know. Like, if you're ever on a shoot and you're like, hey, I can use this for that. You already know how to do it. Shit. The toolkit. All right, so I do have a toolkit here. It is 12:48 here. I don't know how much battery's left on the A7C, so we'll go until it dies. Honestly, I'm not doing anything anyway. I'm not going anywhere. It is what it is. So all right, so we get to take the 1/20 adapter out of this thing, throw it into my bin of already millions of 1/20 adapters, screw this thing on. I don't like that sound. Tighten it up, I guess. Again, it's a 3/8 mount. So most cameras, I assume they figured you're going to put the tilt flex head on here, which I have one. So you definitely need to have something to put on here. You can't just, unless it's like a bigger camera, you won't be able to mount it. So for this, again, just throw a LP E6 Canon battery on it. That's not how you do it. And it should come on. You see head one. It knows it's in pan mode because the sensors, I guess, inside know that it's not tilted up on its axis. Probably has a intervalometer, however the hell you say it, that tells it that. So I can connect to it, and I can pan around. See how fast it can go. And this is at its fastest speed right here. So again, if we're using one of these and it's tied to one of these turntables, it will literally just move this turntable around, which is dope. So I can actually, let's see. Let's go to switch setup. I'm going to pop this one into this one. I wonder if it will detect that it's a turntable. So manual pairing. Unpair. This whole reconnect and disconnect batteries thing is a bit annoying. I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to connect these together. Pairing failed. Selected devices cannot be bundled into a single setup. I don't know what that means. Okay, switch setup. Manual pairing. So now I'm on this one. See the turntable spinning here? So you have a product on it. You can have your slide in or your jib in, and you know, getting that nice movement. Now I'm hoping when these are in a tilt setup, I can still use a third one, but it doesn't seem like I can. But it's not a big deal because I'm probably going to be using the Head Plus, and then I guess I said I wouldn't, but if I have to, I'll use the Pan Pro as my turntable. And my desk here is a mess. So that's always an option. But essentially, I could have this one going in and out, and then this thing spinning at the same time. So, yeah. See, you can't unpair unless you unplug them. So, unplugged. Unplugged. You have to plug them back in. And I assume none of these need updates because they came straight from Edelkrone, and I assume they would keep them up to date. So if I do this, if I hold this like this, you'll see on the screen it says pan tilt now. But if I do it like this, it'll say pan pan. So it knows what's what. So you could pair two of these together if they're pan tilts. So I could probably trick it into thinking they're separate and they'd work together. But yeah, okay, we'll take those off right here. So again, we have a black and a white one. This white one is a little dirty. Not too happy about that. It doesn't have plastic on it either, so it's like, did y'all give me something used, yo? Take that off. That's like scuff marks, crazy. All right. I don't know. I like taking care of my gear, so like anything that causes damage to a piece of my gear, like I hate it. There's some people who just don't care. They'll beat the shit out of their gear and then, whatever. But I'm the complete opposite. Which is also why I don't like loaning my shit out to people. I'll loan you a light stand or a C stand or something like that, but when it comes to like other shit like this that's really expensive, nah. Update firmware. So we actually do have a firmware update for one. That's going to be with the Pan Pro. So it fixes a bug with the time lapse and the Jib 1. Considering they didn't send me my Jib 1, the update doesn't do anything for me. Oh, and my phone is dying. Okay, I have 13%. I don't want to update and jack my device up. May take a few minutes. So 13% on the iPhone, I think, is plenty. Although it is still at 0%. So we might be in trouble. Though I can always just go throw it on the charger. It's not a big deal. What else do we have here? So with that being said, I like that I don't have to disconnect this thing from power like I do everything else over here. I do want to get this head on here and give it a try, as well as set up this pan tilt here. I think it'll be dope. Let's set this up real quick. Although I am getting a bit tired. Not gonna lie. Alright, pop this off. What I could see in the instructions is you take this thing off. You got this. You're gonna take this, you're gonna mount it like this. Of course, with the Edelkrone branding on the outside, because if they didn't know it already, you're using an Edelkrone product. As if they would think it's something else. I mean, there's already your brand on every other piece of this equipment. So. Oh, 420 adapter, what do you know? Oh, you mother. What's that? Request for an app. Approve. Oh, Jesus. Prove it. Enable. Gotta do what you gotta do. If I drop this screw one more time, I'm done. Update firmware finished. Manual pairing. Pan Pro. Okay, they give us an Allen wrench, but there's so many magnets on it you can't actually get it off. Unless you got fingernails, which I don't have, so. Failed to move. Alright, so assuming it's locked. This lock is not doing anything. Is it possible they gave me a dud? You bet your ass. Because my lock button, look, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything. Not paired. It's really weird. Yeah, I think they sent me a dud. We'll have to look into that. Nice one, Edelkrone. Nice one. Where is the box to this damn thing? Right here. I'm still not even able to put this shit together. Okay. So apparently, tension screw's in here. Which doesn't mean anything because I can't even hit the lock. Okay. Let's see. So the lock is not a push in, push out. It's a push up, put down. I find that very odd. I apologize, Edelkrone. Here we go. It's about as fast as it goes. Again, it can hold more weight than the other one. But it is a lot slower. I don't even know what power mode is. I want to say power mode is if you need more power to move something around. And maybe a little heavier. But it makes a lot more noise. Yeah, that works. Works good too. And then we can actually turn it off for once. Ooh, that metal to metal sound. I don't like it. Makes me want to put some gaff tape between it or something. All right. So that's that. We figured that out. This is why you should always look at the instructions. Don't assume, because although it may look like this shit's intuitive, I don't know about your temps, homeboy. Yeah, it may seem like it's supposed to work a certain way, and then it actually works slightly different. So, you know, you'll be looking stupid like me. Don't be stupid, stupid. I do want to get this pan tilt set up. Oh, shit. Just to see how it looks. Mm-hmm. This one I definitely needed the instructions for. Assume the quarter 20 is for something else. But basically we take one of these heads and we screw it like this. Shit. The right way or the fucking wrong way? I don't know. Let's get it. Let's look at the instructions. All these boxes are marked such the same. It's like hard to tell. No instructions right there. Too many boxes, bruh. Too many boxes. All right. So you get it. You take it apart. We did that. Put this on. We did that part. You then I'm gonna put your camera on this one, which is weird. So you have to put your camera on this. It's kind of weird. So mounting the camera is actually part of this, I guess. Right. I'm learning how to do this shit on the fly. Not had to do this before. So while your camera's sitting on there, so I got the A7 III right here. You take this. How does that work? Okay. It just seems weird because you're mounting this thing backwards. And then trying to fit it in the damn hole. That's why you got the retractable thing, right? You can retract it when it's not being used, and then you have quarter 20 on this thing. It's going to mount your camera this way. Has a built-in level right there in the bottom. Then we take this again, and this time we mount this on top of here. Before we do that, we should mount this on here. Again, that noise is not very satisfying at all. So there you have it. Tilt head kit. It tells you to find the center of gravity of your camera, which on this camera, who knows what it is, but you're supposed to apparently hold this thing up like so as you're adjusting this. But with a camera this tall, it's most likely going to be all the way up to the front because I don't have a lens on it. And that's where we're going to put it. And then we're going to mount it a little high because, again, with a taller camera, most of your weight is probably going to be near the bottom. You're supposed to level this thing out. See, the tension things on some of these have tension, right? So if your camera's too heavy, this damn thing could fall down because it's only held on by tension. So we could do this. Power those up. Power this one up. So now we have our pan tilt slide. And we'll take our iPhone that has 11% battery. Open the Edelkrone app. Do a manual pair, and I should see all three of those here. Check all three of them. Boom, boom, boom. Connect. All right. So we have the slide. I'll slow that down a little bit. It's going backwards because I'm going right. It's going left for me, but that's my fault. So I could set it up here, and I could tilt it this way. Pan it. So again, not only do I have this one, but I got this one. So I could be running a 2 slider plus jib combo, which is pretty dope. I'm not going to lie. We're going to move our slider all the way back. And again, I'll get double the range of motion when I have this on a tripod. That's a long slide in itself. Let me get close to the end here. I'm going to stop. I'm going to turn it. These don't let me move it like the Pro does. So it's more of a manual process. And we'll do that. Now we just take our 2 keyframes and it'll just go back and forth. Restrictions, playlist. this shit. Let's talk Edelkrone. Yeah, I just keep going back and forth, as much as I need it. What is dope is I'm using a cam link right now on the A7S III, and the feed I'm getting here is like literally 0 latency. Dude, I want to put this thing on my tripod so bad. That's crazy. That again, I'm running on a single battery, still full battery. So I got this slider and it didn't have the slide module, so I went and bought the slide module. And again, I have the slider 1, which is more compact. So this head makes more sense on this, even though this can hold 20 pounds. It's really made for this. This big one is probably made more for this. I think I'm going to swap this onto the tripod. Let me let this thing get to the middle again. And we'll stop it with a click of a button. Boom. And all these Edelkrone things, they make this like digital noise that you might, your microphone might pick it up, but it kind of sounds like you're trying to make contact with Mars. That's what I call it. That's what I refer to it as. Turn this off. Like, it sounds like I'm trying to make contact with Mars, like Loki. Take this off. This off. What's cool is I guess you could pop your camera off like that. I'd probably prefer to have quick release plates on this thing, if at all possible. Yeah. I'm definitely going to try to get this on my tripod. So let's take this off. So that's that. I mean, you could undo everything, have it easy to set up, or throw it in a bag like this and be ready to go. One thing I'm kind of upset about are the shutter release cables only being the old school USB, not USB-C. Because my A7C will not use a standard USB cable. So I'll take this off. It's going to be pretty heavy. I think this thing weighs about 8.5 pounds without a camera on it. That's hefty. Spin this thing off. Slider 1. So portable of the options. Let's set this on my lap real quick. Try not to damage anything. Is it hot? No, it's not. This is going to be a task. I should have took all this shit off. There, that's the plan right there. I'm literally going to juggle this thing on my lap, which is rather dangerous. Just still righty tighty, lefty loosey. I know with the focus bar, it's you got to go the other way. Yep, same thing here. Lefty tighty, righty loosey. Oh shit. Oh shit. Ah. Okay. Now we got it. Shit. I haven't used this on here before. Like I said, I didn't have slide module. I used it on a smaller tripod, and it definitely kind of hung over a little bit, or the tripod itself would sink down. We're gonna do this actually. Shit, boy. All right. Plug this in. Turn this on. Now this thing could totally fall. Or it could totally not. We'll find out. Head Plus Pro, Slide Module 3, Pair and Connect. For the grand finale. It's either going to fall or it's not. Searching for the lens limits. All right, so I actually want to pan this all the way around. Let's do no tilt, pan only. I don't think this thing does good with doing a 360. Because anytime I grab it and manually do it, I hear like a click. Okay. I'm going to do it on my side in case it does try to fall. I can catch it. So. No, wrong side. So you see how this thing is going further and further away? You see how it dipped a little bit? It should still kind of wobbly. This is one of the things people were talking about. Like, see how wobbly this is? Kind of bends down. This tripod is heavy duty as shit. It holds about 55 pounds. This setup does not weigh 55 pounds. We'll even slow it down a lot. I'll set my focus even to something not dead, wherever. Pose one. We'll slide it all the way to the other side. Look how much travel we get though now that's on a tripod. That's crazy amount of travel. Ooh, that shit gives me anxiety, yo. Shit gives me crazy anxiety, like how far that center of gravity is from the center of here. And the problem is because of the way this thing works, you can't have two tripods on a single slider. It kind of is what it is, I guess. So this would be an automated slide from front to back with pretty much the full range of motion. Like, don't get me wrong, my tripod's holding up very well. But when this thing gets to the other side, like pretty much most of its extent, this thing is bowing a bit. I'm not sure how you handle that. See, now it's supposed to be reversing. So I have it set up so that it will kind of ease in and ease out. So it starts off slow, speeds up. You see the focus didn't move because I didn't set the focus point on the other side. What's cool though is this, like, right? Watch this shit. All right. Move some of this shit out of the way. The last thing I'm going to do, and then I'm going to kill the live, per se. I'm going to rotate it. This also give me a look into if it's bowing down, because I could set my hand here. Let's do this. Sure, yes. Sure, yes. All right. Wrong way. It's definitely bowing a bit because now I can't get my hand under there. I find it hard to believe that's due to my tripod, which is a heavy duty ass tripod. And the mount here is solid. It's not moving. So probably just wouldn't use the full range or something. Like, for the most part, it's pretty solid. Same thing here, though. Like, I don't know if I need more weight on my tripod, like what I need to make it not bow as bad. But the tripod could be held down still. This thing's still wobbling. It's got to be with the weight. There's no way. It's not the tripod. So we're going to do a full slide here. Of course, I shook it. See the camera getting closer? It's pretty dope. But yeah, I think it's just dope having one of these, man. They're pretty expensive, but worth every penny. But yeah, so I mean that's pretty much it. Again, I will have the jib itself as soon as Edelkrone ships it to me. Edelkrone? I don't know, I have trouble saying that shit. As soon as they ship it to me, I'll have it. But for now, I'll be using this slider with this head for the most part, and then the focus ring or focus module here. I have a 16 millimeter Rokinon, then I have the 35 millimeter. This is a 1.2. It's supposed to be a crop lens, but it actually works in full frame mode. But I attached one of the supplied focus rings from Edelkrone onto this, and it works pretty good. Now I will be trying to get a macro. Again, I'm going to try this as a macro, but I'm not thinking it's going to be all that great for that because it's only a 35 millimeter macro. So I want the Rokinon Cine 100 millimeter 2.8 macro because not only can I shoot from distance, but it gets rather close. It has the focus gears because it is a DS Cine lens. And what that means is no matter which lens you use from that DS Cine series, the focus ring is going to be on the same spot. So you don't have to really move it. But that also doesn't make sense because in this particular setup, if you want to change lenses, you have to loosen this up anyways. So you're going to end up moving it regardless. So it doesn't matter if those focus gears are in the same spot. But yeah, I got quite a bit of Edelkrone gear here that I plan on using in the channel, making more videos about it. I was pretty much going to mess with this stuff anyway, so I was like, fuck it, I'll just go live. Probably not a very productive video. Might even be boring, but yeah. Hopefully I'll get this A7S III review out pretty soon, as well as a few Final Cut things that I got to get out. But for the most part, that's it. And yeah, peace.